All right, everybody, we're back. Welcome back. Welcome to the Ready, Set, Blow podcast, episode 236.
Damn.
For January, whatever the fuck Wednesday is, 26th, 2021. As usual, I forgot the date again.
25th.
Thank you.
Go.
That's our guest right there. We're doing this one in studio, Third Wheel Podcast Studio, so thanks for having us, guys. We got Chase Abel on the line, Skyped in, or it's like satellite. We'll call you like satellite, like CNN type shit. We'll make it fancy. Well, I'll call it something that it's not.
Yeah, I'm chimed in, man. I feel like I'm doing the weather patterns here over here.
Yeah, Chase is the new Al Roker, and that is the laugh of our guest this week, the one and only Matty Chymbor. What's up, buddy?
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me,
Absolutely.
Chase. I wish you were here right now in the flesh, but we're gonna do our best to talk to you.
Yeah,
Good seeing you, man. It's been a while. You look good,
dude. The last time I saw you was Boston 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Probably at
Jesus
Laugh Boston. Well, that's where we met Matty first off. We were talking about that just before we went live here. So we met Matty when he was featuring for Jeff.
That was just a random night.
The first time I met Jeff.
Oh, really?
No, that wasn't. That was the second time. The first time he came to my apartment. Chase brought him to my apartment. But he came back like 7 or 8 months.
He brought him to my apartment.
Yeah. Well, I was having people over for a boxing match. Yeah, it sounds weird. Like we had some weird.
He showed me his dick.
Yeah. We had some weird circle jerk in my kitchen.
Yeah.
No, but I met Jeff a few months before that. But then you'd come back to do Laugh Boston with him, and you were featuring for Jeff. And if I recall, that was the same night I got completely obliterated and lost my house keys and my backpack that had my joke book in it and shit. And I had to kick in a window to get into my apartment that night, cutting my ankle horribly.
I remember, dude. Okay, first off, and I don't know if your listeners are familiar with Jeffrey, but people drink on the road on those shows, and I got more fucked up that whole weekend than I ever had in my life. But I remember vividly one night we were at some bar in Boston. I don't even know. I went to school in Boston. I don't even know where I was.
It was, I believe, it was Biddy Early's.
Yeah, it was like a little place.
Yeah, a little shithole bar,
Yes.
writing on the wall. Yeah, that's the place.
Yeah. So I remember that night we got fucked up, but that was fun, man. I'm happy we all got to hang out. He's cool. It was fun because everybody hung out. Even I'm glad that even people like local comics that just came to chill. And you ended up remember you did a spot that weekend.
No, so that was the year you came back after that.
That's when I went with Chris.
Yeah, Chris DiStefano.
Oh, that's right.
The first time that weekend, he offered me a spot, and I turned it down, saying, "No, I'd rather do New York next week when you're down in Gotham because I'm from New York."
Oh,
and I was basically an open mic at that point. Chase knows. He looked at me like I was fucking crazy for turning down like a Saturday night spot. But
he's like, sold out show. You want to do a spot? You're like, fuck no.
Yeah, the nerve on me. But
I want to kick my glass. I want to kick my door in after this.
But he was like, I told him I want to do New York next week. He's like, yeah, no problem. And that was the weekend that I started traveling with him on the road after that.
That's crazy. So
I was a year and a half in.
Chase, how long were you in at that point?
When I met Jeff, I was probably 3 years in at that time.
And that was that weekend too?
Yeah, pretty much.
That shit was fun, man.
It was fun. I mean, that's we talk about Jeff Dye on the podcast. I still travel with him, obviously, but he is well known for that. And Chase knows this because he's been to a few different shows across the country with us.
Right.
And even the club staff refer to it as a Jeff Dye weekend because everybody's getting hammered and the green room door is wide open to any local comic that even just says they're a comic and just get into the green room.
Dude, honestly though, have you ever opened for other headliners though?
A couple. Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know what your situation was like. And Chase, I don't know if you've opened for other people than Jeff, but to this day, I tell a headliner, and this is what I strive to be, is kind of like how he is, where he's like, I just want to have fun with the people on the show for the whole weekend. Because I've opened for people, and I don't want to name names, but it's like I've gone and they literally treat you like they don't want you there. Yeah. It's such a you're in the green room with somebody who doesn't give a fuck about you. And I'm like, I get you don't care. I get you travel a lot, but you're like, let's just chill. I'm not trying to get you fucked up, but I mean, you can look in my direction or some shit like that,
I've definitely opened for other acts, and I've definitely heard this, and Chase knows this from acts from other features across the country. Not all headliners are as friendly as Jeff.
Dude, no, literally, I'd almost argue no one's friendly. He's actually, I don't want to say not friendly, because a lot of them are just cordial, hey, what's up type shit. He's just a different breed where let's go drink, party, have fun. Hey, you're cool. I'll give you a chance. Like me and him went to a Red Sox game, and then like another club I went to. Dude, I asked like the headliner. I was like, I DM'd him before we went. I was like, yo, you want to go chill? Or like, hey, I got this thing to do that weekend. You want to go? Dude, you thought I asked him to go to an alley and suck him off. I'm like, bro, like I'm just trying to do something. We're bored.
Yeah, you got to spend all morning doing some shit before the show.
And I'm like, I was like, all right, I guess I'll just go, finger myself in my room for 3 days straight. Like it's so boring. You're like, let's do something. But maybe people's attitude changes.
Yeah, it's actually interesting, Matt, because that really kind of like, I guess that's the only real thing that really bothers me about the comedy business. Not even about the business. I'm sorry, just with comedians is just like, I'm just like as far as with Jeff, yeah, he is a different breed. Like there's no one really I've ever met that's a headliner in his position that's that genuine and that like generous and that nice,
Absolutely.
But yeah, I just don't get why like some guys just don't like. Just be cool, man. Well, this is a weekend. It's supposed to be fun, right? We're getting paid to like tell jokes. Like this should be a cool thing to do. And then I feel like so many people just are like so angry for no reason, or they just don't want to be like, I don't know.
I feel like
the vibe I get is sometimes with the headliners is like they'll it's almost like you're in an elevator with a stranger. Like in the green room, like they're just tolerating your presence,
and somebody hit all the buttons too.
Yeah, exactly. And no one wants to, and they don't want to get too friendly. It's just kind of a nod and back to their thing. It's weird.
Maybe to like extend an olive branch, like put yourself. I'm trying to like envision myself if I was like a headliner and I've been doing it for like 5 years, and you never bring somebody with you, and you constantly meet the new excited openers who want to do shit. Maybe I can see it getting old, but I don't know. It's still kind of like a thing where you're like, just fucking be cool. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to, like you said, I'm not trying to take you on dates, but like, just go have a beer and like hang out. But some people are different.
Have a conversation in the green room. Don't just stare at the fucking floor.
I remember one time we were in Boston. I'll say the name.
Chase, don't give a shit.
Yeah, Joey Diaz. It was the most funniest thing that I've ever experienced in a green room. There was a comedian in the green room that wasn't really supposed to be there. And there was a bunch of comedians in the room. And he just looked up and was like, hey, are you on the show? The guy's like, nah, man, I'm just hanging out. Get the fuck out of the green room.
All right, that's pretty funny, though.
It's a very Joey Diaz story, too.
I mean, then some people, I guess if you want to, like, focus, like, don't make it a huge hang. So I kind of get what he's saying, but.
Yeah. So let me ask you, dude. When? So obviously I've known you for a few years, but I don't know when you got started and where you're from. I know you went to school in Boston. But
from Connecticut, so New England. I know. I know. We're doing. People are jealous of us. Well, you fucking. Well, you're New York, Chase. You're Massachusetts.
I'm Boston. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm from Connecticut.
Don't sound so excited for that.
Yeah. Wow.
He's holding it against you already.
You fucking Alston pussy. No, I'm kidding.
No, technically, Matt, it's L.A. It's Lower Alston now.
Oh my God.
Really?
Yes. It's disgusting.
You guys think you're out here? No, from Connecticut, and then I never did stand up there. Went to undergrad in Boston, Wentworth. So I lived on Mission Hill, Roxbury. Let's go. The real ghetto, none of that fake Dorchester shit. I was kidding. It's like way worse over there. And then,
Randy, just to let you know, Wentworth is when the kids that just went over to MIT and beat those kids up because they couldn't get into school over there.
They're the construction workers compared to the engineers, kind of a thing.
We took their textbooks and then read them on the way back after fucking them up. It is sad that all our professors were teachers over there. It was just kind of funny with like the idiots that they just like to work out lectures and rubrics on, and then they go back to MIT and actually like figure it out.
You got their B material?
Yeah, exactly. They would be like, "You guys are the same." I'm like, "Why are you lying to our face? Like we're not the same. They're nerds and we're cool as fuck." Let's go. Went there. And then for architecture, went back to Connecticut, worked for like 10 months, and then I was like, all right. And then I came out here for grad school, but in that little sabbatical, whatever you want to call it, in Connecticut, I was like stand-up, but I don't know about you guys, like in New England, like entertainment's not a thing people talk about. At least like for Connecticut and how I grew up, like you see it, but no one's like, I'm going to go do that. And then I guess my friends thought I was funny, and I was working at a day camp. I'm kind of condensing this story, and one kid's like, "You're funny, you should do stand-up," and I was like, "I like stand-up, but I don't even know what to do," and he's like, "Just write funny things down," which is the most vague shit on earth.
No kidding.
And then conveniently enough, a kid that I worked with there, he did stand-up, so I actually had like somebody to like point me like, "Hey, go there and do it." So I did my first show at WPI in Worcester. It was like a random ass I don't want to call it like a festival. It was just like a one-nighter, was like an improv troupe at the end. There was some stand-up, so I got to do time there. And then I did a couple open mics in Connecticut, moved out here for grad school. I knew I liked stand-up. I didn't come here for that, but it was just convenient enough that it worked out. And then that was 10 years ago, so now I'm just I just kept doing it ever since.
Congratulations, 10 years in. That's a fucking achievement.
It's weird because it's like it's an achievement to be like, yeah, I'm 10 years in, but then you're like, what have I done? Like you almost like you always meet these young comics who are like they're lying, saying they're doing it longer. I'm like, dude, go the other way. Say I don't want to say I've been doing it 10 years because people are like, 10 years? Don't you like start popping off at 6? I'm like, not everybody, not everyone. It's a process. I'm not trying to jump the line. And they're like, whatever, you fucking loser.
How was it actually? Because that sounds like you did a couple shows in New England before you came out here, but it sounds like you really got your start out here. How is it doing comedy here, especially starting versus elsewhere? I know you haven't started elsewhere, but I'm sure you talked to guys who have, because I feel like starting in LA would be a real fucked up, weird place to start.
Bro, I mean, you kind of learn quick. Like, I remember that my first open mic, or one of my first open mics, was the Comedy Store potluck.
Oh, and I was like, that? God, that's a fucking miracle, because those spots go to friends and family, basically.
Well, the potluck part, it's like, it's the lottery. So, like, you don't...
Yeah.
But as an oblivious, naive comic, I was like, all right, I'm just going to come to L.A., hung out there for a couple weeks, got up, and basically just ate a dick. and then, like, I was just like, all right, But I didn't know the importance of that place. I was like, all right, whatever. And then I went to like Flappers and did an open mic there. Yep. And that's when it kind of clicked. Like real early on, it clicked where I was like, don't go to these cool areas yet when you're not ready. So I actually would just do open mics in the Valley. And for people who don't know LA, the Valley's like the other side of the Hollywood Mountain, like Burbank, Sherman Oaks, Studio City. So like these weird mics in the Valley. I literally just did that for like 6+ years, like, and just bombed in private because like out here, dude, like you're like, people remember their first impression of you, and that'll set the tone for literally it takes like 6 years to wash that out of their brain. And to this day, I feel like I'm still trying to erase a bad set from like 7 years ago. So like versus like, I feel like people back in like, I'll just use New England, or like I know people who started in like Arizona, Austin, like it's like a fun little community and you guys hang out and you build up. And I feel like the club owner is like, I don't give a fuck. No one's judging you that hard.
Yeah.
And you kind of get a little set under you. But then again, I feel like I see people who move out here from elsewhere and they like almost have to scrap all their shit, or they come with some jokes, but you actually have to ditch a lot of it, because out here, that was the beauty where you're just starting with people who are so good that it makes you just be like, fuck, I got to get like really funny
to stand out.
It takes long. It's not like just because I was here, I got funny faster, but I'm actually kind of grateful that I did start here, because it's like I would have to move here anyways. I'm glad I just got out of the way, and I'm immediately with people who just made me work my dick off. So I don't know, that's pretty cool.
Well, that was like one of the things. I remember Chase told me that, because I was hesitant to move out here for a while. I mean, Jeff fucking almost.
I feel like we talked about that.
Yeah, early on, Jeff was like, "Oh, you should move out here." I'm like, "I got a fucking life up here." Right. No. And then as that was coming closer, I'm like, I don't know. Was I going to go back to New York or come out here?
Right.
And Jeff was obviously a big lobby for out here. And Chase told me, he's like, man, he's like, at some point you're gonna have to go, because wherever you start, you're always gonna be looked at as that open micer.
Right.
Like in Boston, to this day, there's bookers there for bar shows and other clubs in the area that remember me as an open micer that don't know that I haven't made any progress since then. You have to, you said, you have to cleanse that from their mind.
You have to. I always say you have to do like 10 killer sets in front of those people in a row, and if you fuck up one, they go, "See, I told you, he's a kid from a while ago." You're like, "No, motherfucker! Like, I swear to God, I'm good." But I feel like it's all drama. At the end of the day, what you just learn is like, put your head down and just keep getting funny and stop giving a fuck what people think of you. It takes a long time to like learn that, but The only thing out here, I feel like I adapted like a very niche LA set. And then I was like, yo, I got a good 20. And then my buddy Drew Lynch started bringing me on the road.
I know Drew. Shout out to Drew Lynch.
And then it was real quick where I was like, you have to be universally funny. And and I feel like a lot of the local guys that would go to these places, they kind of had like hometowny jokes, which they're good. But like, you know, I'm coming there with like these like city slicker jokes that are just like so like trendy that like I'm not mad I wrote them, but it was just like a huge learning curve for a year. So it's like, I feel like there's pros and cons wherever you start.
Yeah, of course.
But I don't know.
Well, that's one thing, you know, we've all learned is that when you leave your area, a lot of your material, like you said, falls away. I mean, like I lost half of the 5 minutes I had when I fucking left.
All your fucking Boston
all my
shit.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Like even references. Like I remember I went down to Texas and I had a joke about my Dominican father. And it didn't land because they don't know what Dominicans are. They're Spanish people or Mexicans. Like,
say Puerto Rican.
Yeah. No, so they had no fucking idea.
Yeah.
But then, like, if you're talking about like your trans polyamorous roommate in Arkansas, they're like, "What the fuck is he talking about?"
Dude, to this day, I still do that, and I feel like I'm dumbing it down. And there's still topics. I got a joke about open relationships in LA. I can just barrel into it, and it worked. On the road, I would have to do a setup that was basically just saying what an open relationship is, which would just completely kill any momentum of humor that I was trying to like even get out of that. But
you must have do a lot of black. So you must have do a lot of black rooms in that material,
dude. All the black rooms, baby. I'm that little
I bet Matty would kill in a black room. He was all sweet, but he's got a pretty rugged.
I don't want to sound like a typical white guy, but like, yeah, I do well in them. I do pretty good. I know how to make them laugh. I didn't figure it out. No.
So, so you were saying that obviously you finished up grad school, and so the entire time you've been doing comedy, you've had a full-time job the whole time?
Yeah. Well, the first 2 years, did I hit something? It sounds kind of. You can still hear me good? Yeah, you're all right. Cool. All right. Yeah. So the first 2 years I was in school, you know, trying to juggle, and you know, the first couple of years, you know what the fuck you're doing. But yeah, basically to answer your question, I've had my full-time job for the last 10 years, and then you just do stand-up at night, and then on the weekends I'd use all my vacation and sick days to go on the road, and then you just fucking have no social life, and you basically have no relationships, and you just pray to God this fucking works out. God damn.
It's all for something.
Dude, literally, I'm just like, I literally sit up at night, and I'm like, are you going to be a 40-year-old comic? Your mom's old. You haven't gotten married. And she's like, I just like these like thoughts, and I'm just like, God, this better fucking work out.
Chase and I are both pushing 40, so don't fucking make us feel weird about it.
Oh God, your cumulative age is 90. You disgusting fucks.
I know.
I was like, is Matt just describing me? Like,
yeah,
a disappointment to your mother, Chase Abel.
I'm a comic. I'm 40. I'm in my mom's room doing a podcast. She's got nice paintings on the wall.
Good.
But 10 years in though, Matt, like even though, 10 years in and really, it seems like, 10 years you've been going really, really hard with it. Is it still fun? Is it still,
I love, no, it's always fun. I feel like it's exciting. You kind of like, you can get tunnel vision and like act like it's not going well. I'm not a person, and I feel like this is a very New England-y. We don't pat ourselves on the back a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So like,
never. You never give yourself credit for a fucking thing you've ever done in your life.
Never. So it's like, but I really have to step back. I 1,000% love doing stand-up. I enjoy it a lot. I think the trajectory is good. I look at it as like a blue chip stock. It's not shooting up fast, but if you look back, you're like, okay, I wouldn't be here if I wasn't good. So I like it. I tend to use my self-deprecating side to propel me forward, but it's just like you get anxious because you're like, when the fuck is that thing gonna happen? And then you get pissed off, and then you stop caring, and then you get mad again. It's like this cycle that you constantly just find yourself in. So
do you think that's more prevalent here in LA? Because I mean, I know Chase and I know guys back home, Boston, New York, that bitch and moan about where they are, but I feel like in LA there's a lot more. It's a town built on show business, whereas back east none of those towns are built on show business. So it's the pressure is a little bit less intense, as opposed to in LA where it's where everyone's trying to become famous for something or be in show business in some way or be some influencer.
If I had to guess, and you can probably vouch for this, like maybe back home, like when I'll say back home, referencing like where you guys started. First off, let me just add, it blows my mind where, like, sometimes you see those guys, though, where they're just like, yeah, I just do stand-up because I like it, and then they have a job and a family and a wife, and they don't almost, maybe to me, but it seems like they don't care where it goes. But out here, I feel like, yeah, people get pissed, but I feel like out here, I don't know, maybe back home it's like this, but here, like, you get pissed, but then there's like this competitiveness that causes like maliciousness. There's like a little more evil side out here that I don't, maybe you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, I don't feel like you get that back in like local, like maybe I'm sure you get drama and shit talking, but here you always get a lot of like these acquaintances that come off like friends, and you got to kind of like really analyze shit. You like, it's very like, what do you want? Like, it's fucked up that I think like this, but out here you meet a lot of people and you're just like, what do you want? I know you want something.
Yes.
Like versus back home where it's very normal, cool people that are like, what would you stand up? And then there's drama within it and it doesn't matter. So did I answer the question?
Yeah, when I see those people, man, I just walk away. I don't even like, I try to do the best I can. Like, you know,
I mean, that was something I worried about moving out here. I told Chase about this a couple years ago, a year and a half ago when I decided to move out, is that I got the sense that everyone out here, like you just said, is that everyone has like some weird ulterior motive.
100%.
Like I feel like, back east where we're all from, if they don't like you, you fucking know it.
Yeah.
We're out here, they'll smile on your face, but they're plotting. You have the feeling they're plotting, they're conning you, they're plotting against you. And it's a real weird, awkward feeling.
But while they're smiling and complimenting you, you're like, something's happening in the back of your brain right now where I don't like this.
Yeah, you can see the machinery working behind their eyes, and it's fucking creepy.
Yeah, dude. One thing it's funny, like, I mean, I going back to like back home, like when people just say don't like you, I appreciate that. Like, I like when people are just honest. Like, and when I came out here, one of the funniest things, like, I moved out here. We bust balls in New England. Thanks, buddy. We make fun of people, like, but we do it out of endearment. So, like, when my first couple of years out here, I'd go to like Flappers. I'll just say it. And there was a kid who used to work like the door, and I'm fucking around, and I was busting his balls, but I actually liked the kid. He complained to the club owner.
Oh.
So it's just funny, like basically what you're saying is like people back home are just so real, and then you come out here and they're fake. But then I brought that realness out here, and I'm like, I lie, you fucking pussy, you got a little dick. And then he complained, and I had to apologize to him. It was like, so.
Why? Chase doesn't play that bullshit.
Chase, come on, move out here. Fucking, we can just bully people.
I'm trying to.
Dude, literally, I'm just like, I want to be an adult, just bully other adults. It's just be fun as fuck.
Well, that's one of the reasons why
Randy knows me. Randy knows me pretty well, and but he could vouch for me. He could vouch for me. I have my threshold for like that type of stuff is very, very short. Like I can't like.
That sub being what? That sub being what? I'm sorry.
Being disingenuous.
Disingenuous. I thought you meant like fucking with people. Okay.
Yeah, disingenuous thing, and also going behind your back, and like, you could be having a conversation with someone and it's cool, and they go behind your back and they make up this whole, lies about you. I just don't deal with all that stuff, man. That's just it really takes a toll on people's mental state. If you really think about it.
That's why out here I'm like, I don't even fucking. I go to work, and then you have like, I feel like people's groups of friends out here are very small, or if it's very big, you're like something's up. But I try not to like kind of. The more I do stand up, the more I really just like. I almost use my day job as like leverage to not care about the drama in entertainment. It's so nice to like when people like they're out at clubs hanging and they're like, so and so said this. I'm like, I literally have to go to work tomorrow. I don't care about your fucking pussy ass barista issues. Like you guys suck. I'm just like, so it's like
you have a life outside of comedy that keeps you sane.
It literally, dude. Honestly, like everyone's like, when are you gonna quit your job? And like the more I get older and think about it, I'm like, I want to keep that job for as long as I can because it literally like gives me a break from trying to be that creative fucking pussy all day. Like you can go to work and just like and I always tell people like with a day job, it keeps you sane because there's a right way and a wrong way to do things. In entertainment and comedy, and you guys know, you can tell a joke this way one night, the same way the next night, and something's wrong and it drives you fucking nuts. So like it's almost refreshing to like use like being a normal human as like a kind of scapegoat and all this like bullshit out here.
And I think that's why one of the reasons why we all hit it off as friends right away is because you have that sense, like I said, you're honest about what you say, but the sort of the breaking balls aspect of it. Like out here,
yeah.
out here doing that, like you said, you got to apologize for it because people
Dude.
take it fucking verbatim. Whereas back home, it's almost a term of endearment. Like
Huge
if you
term.
you only break the balls of someone you know and like, and the more you know and like them, the closer you are, the harder you can go, the meaner you can get with them because they
gets
know you
mean.
love them. Yeah, and it gets fucking vicious. You know,
Bro.
like you start poking holes at their ego, like personal problems.
You're like, can I make my friend cry right now?
Yeah, exactly.
Any East Coast like type of people, man, you can have in the same conversation, you can be talking, drinking, having fun. Then it goes from that to like literally fist fighting and then going back to being friends again.
That's what I was
An
going to say.
immediate stop to the fist fighting and then laughing.
Yeah, and then right back to the drinking and laughing. Like I said,
Dude.
you could. I could not picture some of my LA quote unquote friends. I mean, I have friends who are real out here, and then it's people I know.
Yeah.
I don't want to call them friends.
Yeah.
Like people I'm well acquainted with. That like back east, like Chase and I, and other buddy knows back east. We've had them just knock down, drag out, fucking screaming matches, and then 10 minutes later you're drinking, laughing your ass off. You're like, hey man,
I
sorry
like
about that. Here it'd be a whole. You'd have to go to grief counseling and get a fucking anger management
There would
class.
be an intervention.
And, you have to write a fucking Twitter post saying how sorry you are publicly, some bullshit, which I don't get. Like people take it way too personal, especially in comedy, where all we're trying to do is make each other laugh and make the rest of the people laugh. So for someone to take that seriously is so annoying.
Well, I think it just highlights their insecurities. And like I think they don't know who they were. So like I'm gonna go to a city and try to find myself when I not to suck the D's of New England people, but we know who the fuck we are. So when we go to a place,
son.
that's right. No, so yeah, dude. What was I gonna say? I literally had a LA friend call me once, and he was complaining because another guy who was actually from New York was making fun of him too much, and I was just like, dude. I goes like, I get it. It's probably getting annoying, but I was like, no one cares. Like, what are you doing?
If he cares enough to make fun of you, you should appreciate that he even cares. Because most people don't give a fuck.
It's like if I don't like you, I won't talk to you.
Yes,
If
exactly.
I like you, I will call you a titty bitch with a small dick. That means I like you. All right.
Exactly.
But I don't know.
You gotta stop. You gotta stop fucking talking about me, man. This is the second time you talking about
Dude,
me.
yank him, dump him out, baby.
I know. Let me see them titties section.
You're our cam girl. Fuck the weather, man. Let's go.
The sexiest. I'll pay for his OnlyFans. Look at him.
Do the bus it challenge on that.
Sexual
bed.
chocolate right there.
Look at us. See, we're making fun of you because we love you. But I don't know. People out here. I hung out with my. Sorry to interrupt. Real quick. I hung out with my Boston friends on Friday at a show, and a lot of them came. And literally, I was talking to one of their girlfriends, and they were just talking. Well, it's funny. We were talking about. First, they said how they're reiterating what we said, how we're all psychopaths and just make fun of each other. Yeah. But even my New York people, they were like talking about how like even like something in Boston, I don't know what happens, like it gets a little more malicious up there.
Oh yeah,
which I kind of like.
Yeah.
But
the colder it gets, the angrier you get. It's kind of this.
No, what's weird is like I've never even like, and I talked about this once on my podcast. Is like we'll make fun of each other. That's how we show endearment. But like, I don't think I've ever said to one of my friends like, "Hey man, I'm proud of you." Like I would literally stab my eyes if I had to say that to a friend. I'd rather be like, "You're a pussy, you got lucky," than be like, "You deserve everything you got in life." But I don't know.
Oh yeah,
Hey, Matt, I'll tell you something, Matt. I'll tell you something. I think I've told Randy a few times that I'm proud of him, and he would look at me like, ugh.
That's literally
because I don't know how to take kindness, man.
I don't either.
Like I said, my father wasn't a great father, and I haven't spoken to him in many, many years. But when I was younger, I remember him saying, he loved me. But like you said, he never said he was proud of me. Yeah. I couldn't imagine that coming from another man's mouth towards me.
Dude, I don't I don't like getting personal. I don't like when like like when it gets too close. Like sometimes I was even talking to my sister about this, and we were like. We're kind of the same where it's like I've had ex-girlfriends where they're like, what is your passions in life? And I'm like, ugh, don't ask me that. That's so fucking weird. Like, I don't like getting deep. And they've all said, like, you're just a shell of a human. And I'm like, get your, like, sentimental bitch ass questions out of my face. Like, I don't like this.
I use that against him. I always ask that question first, and I usually ask it on a first date. Usually within the first.
You
30
ask
minutes.
what's your passions?
Yeah, because I'll stop them. They'll be talking about their job or their fucking sister or some other bullshit, and I'll be like,
what's your bra
like,
size?
enough about what you do. What are you passionate about? And it puts women on their heels because they're not used to hearing that question. They sort of back up like, oh shit, now I have to like be honest and vulnerable, and I have to talk about what's really going on inside of me, and it gives you 20 minutes to shut the fuck up while they ramble on about whatever it is you don't care about they're talking about.
See, that's a good point. I don't know. Something about me. I just fucking get and then I make fun of the girl, and then she leaves, and I'm like, "Where are you going, pussy?" She's like, "You're an asshole," and I'm like, "I like you though. Fuck, whatever." But
Matt's definitely got an East Coast type of he's got that flavor, man. I can see it.
Well,
I can see it.
But I think I'll be perfectly honest. I feel like out here, I've been here 10 years. Like, it's kind of creepy to think about. It is because you're like, I remember the day I moved out here, and I was talking about this to someone where it's like, when you grow up in a hometown or whatever, you don't keep track of the years. You keep track of your birthday, and you're like, I can drink now. Yeah. But like when you move away, you're like, hey, this is my first year here. This is my second year here. So like 10 years, you're like, oh, that's a decade. That's creepy. But anyways, what I was getting at is like, it's so weird to go home now because I feel like it's softening my edges. Because then when I go back to my friends who are still in my hometown, there are times where I'm like, you guys are fucking psychopaths. Like, as far as the ball, like, they're like nothing has calmed them down from not shitting on each other. Versus here, where there was days where like people were like shitting on someone, and the part of me was just like, it's getting pretty aggressive. And I was like, wow, you're an LA little bitch now.
That hasn't hit me yet, Matt. It's for me. The softening is starting now. I'm like, ooh, like today it's like in the 40s. I'm like, ooh, it's cold. And then I think back to Boston, it's 15 fucking degrees there. Like,
yeah,
and that was like, oh man, that was like sweater
weather.
It was
freezing, and it was 55 degrees. My heated seats and my heat in my car was on, and I was dying. Chase is just sitting there and snow's on the ground. He's like, wow.
Yeah, he has no heat in his apartment right now. He's in a t-shirt.
I don't deal with the snow. I hate the cold. I can't stand it, and hopefully I can get out of here soon.
He's trying to find a way out.
Are you gonna come out here?
I mean, if fucking your governor can start opening shit up, man, I'll go out there.
I mean, we got outside dining as of today,
so
let's go, baby.
I know.
I don't think you've seen my body, man. I don't need to eat anymore, brother.
Kid, get out here. We got to get you get some avocado toast. That's one thing out here that I kind of do like is just like how actually healthy it is. And it's actually easier to be healthy out here. Like then I go back home and I'm like, no one wants to eat healthy shit in cold weather. In cold weather, you're like, give me something that is like going to make me feel good about myself.
Yeah, it's Kelly's roast beef and a bottle of Jameson.
Kelly's roast beef. That's hilarious. Go to fucking Kelly's or Boloco.
Oh, God. Yeah, Boloco.
Dude, Boloco slaps. I fucking love that.
Yeah. You got to go to Kelly's in Revere.
When I played baseball at Wentworth, so we would whenever we had away games, they would give us a meal card, and I think we would go to Kelly's roast beef. Like if we were even in the remote area, we would go there, and it was fucking so goddamn good.
Now, speaking of getting in health, I saw Chase doing some fucking flips, doing some Brazilian jiu-jitsu with Doomsday Howard. Chase, are you getting into the Brazilian jiu-jitsu now?
You a sensei? What's up?
I know, right?
Yeah. I mean, as you well know, Randy, Matt, you don't know. In my past life, before I was a comedian and a public safety officer, and in finance, and a Valvoline oil instant service technician, I was a ninja.
Hence the black shirt. I get it. You're trying to get into character.
They're gonna do a revival of Beverly Hills Ninja. They're gonna have Chase play it instead of Chris Farley.
Yeah, I'm down.
I feel like that's
I'm just doing man. So basically, I'm just trying Brazilian jiu-jitsu out, and I need to change my. I lost like my discipline when it came to my health, and it started really when I started comedy. To be honest with you, but just because I stay, the comedy game is like it's a night game. You're out late. We tend to like drink, and then you tend to eat and eating.
Hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. So I just got really big, man. So I'm just like, you know what? This jiu-jitsu thing seems to be hot and a lot of people doing it. And dude, it's a workout and a half. I didn't know like wrestling was like that.
Oh, yeah.
I never.
That's a grappling-ish one.
And it's also I think a smart move comedy wise, because I feel like if you're in LA, like I feel like 2/3 of comics in LA do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
I've never done
everyone is just worshiping the altar of Joe Rogan, and anything he says they do. So now every fucking comic I know is like getting into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or already like got their blue belt, whatever fucking belt they got. Yeah, taking on it brain pills and shit. It's one of those things.
Can I say something? I'm not doing it because Joe Rogan told me to. I'm doing it because one, I'm fat, and two, and I probably have diabetes. I don't know. I haven't gone to gym for years, so I gotta make sure. Yeah.
Get you out here.
And you probably get lessons for free because we know Doomsday.
What do you like? So what is walk me through like or brief like what when you go there? What do you do? Do you like warm up and then just like dry hump dudes? Like,
No.
How's that work?
No. Yeah, you do warm ups. You warm up for like
dry hump, then warm up.
Yeah, you first you got to put on your spandex, your compression shorts. You got to have compression shorts.
Is it hard?
So you do like bear crawls. You warm up doing bear crawls. You jog. Hit the pads, and then my instructor, he just we just go straight to technique moves and grappling and rolling.
Okay.
So
did you get choked out?
I got choked up, but yeah, I got choked out, and I got choked up.
Oh, like you passed out?
No, I didn't pass out, but she definitely got me.
Dude, you had a boner.
It was a 12-year-old girl, and he was all hemmed up, so she folded him up like a lawn chair.
Dude, let's go.
She was strong, and she was probably about maybe 100 pounds lighter than me.
Yo, you're like Kramer when he takes karate with the kids. Episode.
Now, Matty, I wanted to ask you about this because I remember. So obviously, we all as comics had tough years, particularly last year, 2020, with quarantine and COVID. And I remember at the beginning, I started doing my thing on Instagram,
right?
And I got a little bit of heat. I mean, I got like
dude, it was good.
One thing, yeah. And then I remember Matty says to me, "Hey man, what are you doing?" So I don't know. I post these jokes, and some of them got reposted. And then Matty was like working on his thing. And then all of a sudden, I look up, and Matty fucking lapped me in followers. Dude. I mean, lapped me hard. He at one point he had twice as many followers than me.
So I remember, because I saw it, and I was like, you were doing the tweets, and I saw that, and I remember. I'm very like I see what people are doing, and I remember being like, "Yo, I like what you're doing. I'm probably gonna start doing that." You're like, "Dude, fucking don't give a shit." But the tweet thing I liked, and it got me in the mindset of like reaching out, kind of like what you said, like tagging the meme accounts and so on and so forth. And I got a little burst. Like you got more love from like some of the bigger accounts, like that Insta Single dude.
Insta Single helped me out. Shout out
Insta Single for seeing my DMs. No, I don't care. But anyways, yeah, I was doing that a little bit. I'm not a big tweet guy. Like I kind of like the editing process.
Yeah.
And then I was, simultaneously, I used to do my cooking shit, but then I started doing TikToks. When I say TikToks, like I was doing like those like sketches. I'm not fucking dancing or doing some dumb shit like that. But once I started doing those videos, bro, and Reels came out, which is the TikTok of Instagram, I remembered when IGTV came out and somebody goes, get on any new feature because they will push that so hard immediately. And I remember I did that with IGTV and I got a little burst of followers.
Nice.
So I was like, all right, I got like 5 heaters that like did well when I posted them on Instagram. Let me ditch the tweets for now because I kind of want to start just like writing and filming my own shit. And I had those 5 and I just put those out there. And I was talking to my buddy yesterday about this, but I think because I did 5 that were like did proven well already, dude, they just took off. And like when you got in early on Reels, bro, like my first like 10 just crushed.
Yeah.
Would they crush now? I don't know. Maybe. I think they were still good. Dude, there was a point where like they were getting shared by meme pages. The algorithm would put them on the Explore page. Nobody was doing Reels because no one even knew how to find the thing.
Yeah.
So I was like the first person to start doing it to the point where from July till today, I got 30,000 followers.
Yeah, there you
but
go.
like there was days where I'd get 1,500 in a day.
And you're like, oh, it's like a drug, you know?
And dude, it is. But and then you keep doing it and doing it. Now I notice when people kind of started doing it more, you can see, and I don't know if you feel the same with kind of the tweets because I didn't really dig into it much, but like now that more people do videos, they don't pop they do well, but you're not. The algorithm has so much to pick from now that like back in the day, I feel like it was easier to get like shoved to the top versus now where like you have to almost be making a perfect video that gets watched like 3 times in a row without leaving and blah, blah, blah. But that was basically it. And like, I was like, dude, I'm not doing stand up. Kind of like we talked about. It's like not doing stand up. Might as well try to do something that's comedic related. I don't know if your motive was the same as mine. I think it was.
Yeah,
where it's
pretty
like,
much.
Let's just get followers.
Yeah, just some way to do something like you said, comedic. That could benefit you. I was like, oh, I can't tell jokes. I might as well write them and throw them on the internet. And the tweet thing for me, like I said, it was more of a comeback thing. And I didn't see anyone doing that. It's sort of like It's almost like SNL with the headlines. Like they'll read a headline and then the joke punchline follows.
Right.
And I didn't see anyone doing that. And I have a smart mouth on me, so I had something to say. So
I love those.
I'll start doing that, and that sort of worked out for me. But what I noticed right away when you started doing your videos, and for those if listening that aren't familiar with Matty, follow him at Matty Chymbor, Chymbor.
Yeah, baby.
It's almost like your internal monologue, but you act it out.
It's like I personify things. I act out like inanimate objects. So like, like I did one the other day where it was like, trying to leave bad habits, and I was playing the 2 bad habits, and it was like, and then I like the game of the sketch. It's like as if I'm like trying to like tell 2 bad friends I don't want to hang with them anymore, and so it's like I try to just like be, because it's like it almost like reflects like us and COVID. It's like you're just living with your thoughts, and I'm like, well, let me just film this and act out everything I'm feeling, dude. Like the one where it was how your coffee or how your coffee treats your shit. You ever drink coffee, you have to shit? I literally thought that all day. I was like, damn, every time I drink coffee, I have to shit. And then I was like, I'm just going to play coffee and play shit and kick me out of my apartment. Like,
you did that with a hangover in your 30s.
And then you get in this like little pattern, and dude, they just popped off.
Yeah, and I love that. And I love that you were able to find that because the reason I think what I did on Instagram that helped me get followers worked, and the same reason that worked for you, is because it was in your voice. Mm-hmm. Like that's how I would speak to someone who said that those tweets to me in person. That's how I would respond.
When I read those, I hear your voice.
Yeah, and the way you do that, I'm like, oh, it's Matty's. Like I said, it's a sort of the good and evil conflict in your head come to life in the sketch, and I love it. It's great.
And that's like I know with the tweets, I was like, I'm not a writer. This isn't me. Like. And you try to grab, and I think that's the trick with social media. It's like find whatever resonates with you. That's the easiest. It's not always easy because you're still coming up with ideas, but dude. Once you like find that thing, and again, it's like I like doing that now, and inadvertently, like maybe this will be like a career move. Like I'll always do stand up, like that's like the first thing. But like I was like, hey, maybe something will happen with this. But the goal, it's like, dude, at the end of the day, like to loop this back to stand up. It's like you need followers to become a headliner. Yeah. This is like the 90s comics getting on MySpace, where it's like you can't just do late night sets anymore and get famous. You have to actively find another thing you're good at, unless you're posting a billion stand-up clips, which none of us have. I don't.
Yeah, I don't.
So it's like I might as well find this other thing that is just I look at like posting videos like investing money, where it's like it's working for you while you're sleeping. Yeah. Like if you're just trusting that when you go to a show you're just going to gain fans in that moment, that's the most inefficient way to like make a savings.
Yeah. And you can only see how many. I mean, your average comedy club only holds 300 people. So how many people can you hit in any one show? And if you crush, only 300 people saw it.
And you crush, and how many of those want to and don't leave before they see you? How many of those actually come up to you, and how many of those take your card and actually use it? It turns to like 4. Yeah. That's like I count it. It's like saving. It's trying to get rich by saving paychecks versus trying to get rich by taking your talent and investing it into these other things. So, dude, like right now, our videos and your tweets are fucking circulating. And people are sharing them, and it's like getting you fame. So I don't say fame, but like
some exposure, whatever.
But, you know, but I mean, like that's crazy though. Like honestly, like I look at, not to like say COVID's good, but like if quarantine and COVID and all this shit didn't happen, I don't know if I would do that. I don't know about you. Like,
I wouldn't. That definitely wouldn't have done that.
I'd be doing stand up. I'd be doing my fucking like bullshit videos, like of me doing crowd work. Maybe they would do well, but nothing would pop off like these are. So it's like it gives like sometimes I stay up and I'm like, well, God damn, what if I didn't do this shit, or like what am I not doing now?
Yeah, what am I missing now? But are you? Have you gotten in trouble for any of those videos? Because I gotten into quite a bit of trouble with Instagram over the last year.
That's
I'm on a shadow ban right now.
Oh, you are?
Oh, yeah. It happens like once every couple months at this point.
How does that happen? Because they report you?
Because somebody reports me because they find the joke offensive or something or other.
You're like, get the fuck off my page then.
I know. That's what I don't understand. But it does pushes me out of the Explore algorithm for a certain amount of time. So like right now, I'm not. You can't see me on the explore page because I'm shadow banned for the next few weeks.
Oh my god!
I know, and they don't tell you how long, and they remove the post, but they don't tell you which post it was. So I'm like, well, how am I going to fix my behavior if you don't tell me what I'm getting punished for?
Yeah, because it could have been one from like a month
That's the
ago.
thing. It could have been from 3 fucking months ago. Because
first of all, even if they told you, you're not going to fucking fix your behavior.
All right, Chase. Fair enough.
You would double down.
You're yeah.
I'm going to repost this twice and rewrite it and make it worse.
Oh yeah.
No,
that's the one thing. That's the one thing about Randy. It's you got to keep doing what you're doing, man. Fuck them,
Dude.
Exactly.
Honestly, yeah, it's like because if you start censoring yourself, they would lose the essence. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I read yours and I'm just like, that's. And I hate to say this because people say this about my stand-up, like that's dirty, but it's like just like the level of they're creative.
Oh, thanks, man.
It's not like you're just like dumb cunt, like saying they're creative, and you just so happen to use words that people typically deem as blue. But I'm like, yeah, but that was still funny as hell though. So like, but no, like honestly, I feel like I didn't get in trouble because I feel like they're just such like simple, relatable thoughts that like I did.
It's also not. It's not you saying it. It's your. It's like you're playing
like,
a character.
It's kind of
and there's a gap. I feel like that gives people leeway to not get mad at you for it. Whereas what I do, I'm saying it out of my own mouth.
It literally says Randy Valerio. Fuck your titties. I'll come in your hair.
Yeah, exactly. Something.
Yeah. It's like your name is literally above that.
Yeah,
you just quoted yourself. No, and also like. Yeah, I feel like I've done topics where it's like vibrator, orgasm, shit, piss, whatever. So no, like I would expect people to get a weird, but I never done one where it was people like actually had backlash. But and kind of what you're saying, it's like it's almost like how cartoons can get away with stuff.
Yeah.
Like I'm kind of like almost you can't really get mad at me for playing a vibrator. Like what do you mean? Like vibrator said something rude, and I'm like, okay, psychopath. Like what do you know? But my concern with that, it's like I feel like my stand-up is a little more it's more blue than what I'm doing on my sketches. So I'm curious if I'm gonna run into something one day where these people start to come out and they're like, I mean,
that's not what I was expecting.
This isn't like your coffee sketch, and I'm like, no shit, I just talked about girls masturbating too much. Like, so that's like one thing I think about, but I'm also like, I'll cross that bridge when it happens. Maybe I feel like my writing's kind of easing up a little bit, and they're starting to mesh a little bit, but I don't know. So that's nothing. I'm not too worried.
No,
I don't know about the social media thing, man. I'll let you guys have that conversation because I'm still on MySpace. So
dude, you should post videos in jiu-jitsu of you getting fucked up by girls.
I would, yeah, Chase. You've got to get a video of you getting choked out by a chick.
And every day in your bio it says 0 and 0 for 10. Your record is just you're like, I think he's losing on purpose now.
Well, I got 4 days until Black History Month, so I can't post any of that stuff. I gotta shine light. I gotta shine good on February, baby.
Yeah, you
all good stuff.
You can't have a 12-year-old white girl choking you to death on Black History Month. It'd be really anti the movement.
I mean, it might go viral, but
with all the wrong people on Parler.
I will never ever show that ever because I only want that to be done in private.
That's how Chase comes.
Yeah. I'm gonna fucking find the security footage of this YMCA you're wrestling at. Chase is about to get fucked up by.
So what? So what do you got?
Cynthia.
Like, what's the next step for you now that you're sort of building this Instagram following, and like, what are you trying to do? Like, some people get into this game, and Chase knows this to do stand up comedy and be on the road and do all that. Some people want to be some fucking movie star or something else.
Right.
What's in your ideal world? How does it work out?
Right now, if I had to plan a trajectory for the next like year, it would be, have my videos start to kind of get me more followers. I'd love to get in the next year, like if I can get up to like 100 or whatever.
That'd be,
dude. But I see people. It's like some people get this heat, and then it starts popping off. Like there's like a few accounts that I see post videos, and they just like take off. But honestly, like. It would be, and it's hard to say that because like stand-up's not open, but hypothetically, let's assume stand-up's going to open soon. It would be get a following so I can start hitting up clubs and being like, hey, I have this many people. And like, I'll be realistic. Like just start getting one-nighters across the
Yeah,
country.
you get a Sunday night or the Thursday night show,
Right.
the Thursday late show, whatever it is.
Right.
Yeah.
So get that. I didn't tell anyone over quarantine. I got like a guest role on a sitcom.
Oh, congrats, dude.
So it's like I like acting when it comes from stand-up. I don't want to like fucking, So I would like to kind of get more stuff like that. I guess. Sorry. I'll start small. I think it's literally just build a big enough following where stand-up gets more realistic, and I start making a little more revenue, or maybe get representation because like I have a little more of a reach like that. So that'd be good. I'll be honest.
The one thing I've been hearing you about, it's like, the way your plan, the way you just said, like what was coming to me was that the way you're doing it for like is really good because you've been doing stand-up for a long time. So you have material, you have a set, you know what I mean? You have an act. So you can actually, not only are you have the followers to get into the door and get these but you actually have the material to support, your stuff, versus the other way where I've seen a lot of guys, they'll go quick to get followers, but they're not building up their material.
Right.
And then they go to a club and it's like the opposite effect. So it's like, it's actually good that I think how you're doing it is good in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I'd definitely take advantage of the fact that, you're right. I see people who pop off and have followers, and I know a couple.
There's a lot of TikTokers out there and out here who
Bro.
have a huge following, can sell at a club, and the show sucks, and no one ever comes back to see them
Bro,
live. You know what I'm saying? Like
I've
they
been to a
have the
couple.
one and done, and that's it.
I'll tell two examples of that, and I actually like the people, but it's hard to watch where they have a lot of followers. They come out because they really like the kid, and this one kid had me headline his show, but he did 30 in the middle of the show. It was like the most ass backwards, but it's like these kids don't realize at the end of the day, if you're not funny on stage, your fans aren't going to come suck your dick. So like I headlined for a show. It was a fucking packed. It went really well, and like no one went. They all were like talking to me after,
Yeah.
and it's like this ego thing, which I've got. We all get. You do a show, somebody crushes, and people will just walk by you. So that was awkward. But then there's another kid where I opened for him, and you just watch them try to do 45 minutes, and you're in a room of 250 people, and by the end of it, it's fucking awkward. Like they have jokes, and this is like the trajectory of comedy where it's like you start stand up, you write funny things down, blah blah blah, and then you get to a level where you're like, I can do well. But then there's like a little period of a lot of these younger kids' careers where these jokes do well if the room is hot and everybody's in the mood, but they will not pull laughters out of a dead crowd.
Yeah.
They're not that bulletproof shit. So like you can hear be like, it was just like so uncomfortable to watch. And kind of going back to what Chase said, it's like, I'm so happy I've been featuring for the last 5 years.
So you have the material to back it up.
Dude, like I know what it's like to be in a room that's not feeling it. I know what to expect. And honestly, opening for Drew, like he's a person where he's like, I'm kind of emulating like how, they call him an internet kid, but I'm like, that kid's been doing stand up for a minute, and he busted his dick, and he was always so good at stand up that when people come out, they're just like, yo, I saw your videos, like, and I thought they were funny in your YouTube stuff, and like I didn't know what to expect, but they're like, my mind was blown. So it's like I'm hoping that happens where not only do I get people out, but I surprise them, and the club owner's happy, and it just kind of goes the right way, because I would hate to have to be playing catch up. One of the kids that I talked about in the first story, he was like scrambling. He's like, yo, do you think I can? This is the end of last year. Or when I say last year, 2019, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
He was like, do you think I can get this is like November. He goes, do you think I can get an hour by April? I'm like, what? No. I was like,
even if you had good comics write it, they can't write it for you.
Bro, I go, dude, don't do this. I go, take your fucking time. I go, feature if you have to. I go, but they see the money. They see their friends get the paychecks they're getting. I go, you don't realize you are losing fans that will not come back. Like, you really have to be patient. And I'm thrilled, and like going back, like I was joking earlier, we're like, I'm 10 years in, this sucks. I'm confident though, like when I start headlining, there'll be a learning curve because I don't do hours all the time.
Yeah, neither do I. I've never done one.
I done one. My first one was last year.
Congrats, dude.
Actually, almost a year ago.
Congrats, dude. That's fucking hard, man.
Bro, it was like it's crazy. The day I committed to it, my work ethic went from like okay to like through the roof because you have these thoughts like, oh, the show's on my shoulders. Like,
yes,
it is a weird thought and then you get this like motivation, like I cannot fuck this up type thing. Like when we feature, you're like, hey, it's the headliner show. I'll go eat chicken fingers and get fucked up in the back afterwards. And I have that thought, and you don't work as hard. But
that's crazy.
yeah, when you do it though, when you do the hour, it's a learning curve. But I was happy now. I was like, I have this foundation. So yeah, now when I start featuring, I was like, okay, I can see it filling in and being good. But hopefully, like, you know, going back to the goals and what he said, that would be amazing if in the next year I can even just be like a one-nighter guy for the year after that, so I can start to show them like, hey, I can sell tickets, I can get people out, and while that's happening, keep getting more followers and just get that kind of momentum going, because that's kind of like how it takes off, you know, and then just get supplemental shit from that, and you know.
Yeah, and the last thing I want to ask you about, as it relates to the Instagram following and how you're going to sort of leverage that. Are you ever worried about sort of like social media creep, in the sense that like you're writing to the audience as opposed to writing what you want? So like you slowly sort of gravitate towards pandering because you don't want to upset your audience. They expect this out of you, so you have to stay on that track. Or do you keep yourself honest when you come?
Are we talking stand up or social media?
Social media, because stand up, I think to be on stage, I think we all feel this. You have to be honest with yourself to a certain degree, or else the crowd calls bullshit and they're never going to buy what you're selling. But on social media, you can create any persona you want.
I honestly think I can confidently say that I definitely write what I want to do. I'm not like going off the rails with like awful topics. And lately, because at first I was just making videos that were funny, and then I ran into this like creative rut when I was just running out of ideas. Yeah. And then in the last like month or so, I started kind of recalibrating how I come up with ideas, where I generally reflect on my week or weeks or whatever to be like, what was bugging me or what was real. And the second I started doing these like real ones where it's like, dude, I literally haven't been sleeping since I got my new job, and I just did one about trying to catch 8 hours, like physically catch 8 hours. Yeah. And then my rule, I was like, if I laugh at it, my rule is I have to laugh at it when I make it, because when it goes out and doesn't do as well, I don't give a fuck. If anything, I'm like, you guys don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That's funny. Yeah. So I definitely don't pander. Maybe I did in a cup, not really. Yeah, and
maybe pander's a tough word, but there is that sort of, like I said, that sort of capture where you get so addicted to getting followers that you keep feeding the beast, even if you don't like what you're feeding to the beast.
I stopped that quick. It's really hard with videos, because I've done it a few times where I post one that I'm not thrilled on, but I think it'll do well. And when it does bad, it hurts way more.
Oh yeah.
So I've deleted I'll be like, fuck you, idiot, and I delete it. Which even then I'm like, you know what? Fuck you, own it, leave it out there. So now I leave things out there. But now my rule is, if I'm editing it, and I make some that I just don't put out. Yeah. But if I laugh at it when I'm editing it, that's the only box I check. And I'm like, all right. Even the one I posted today, like if you want to look at the numbers, it's not doing nearly what my other ones do. But every time I watch it, I literally say, that's funny. I like that. Yeah. Because it's easier to live with. And that's like how stand-up is. You just have to like go to war with what you have, but just be strategic about what you put out there. Yeah, don't pander, because you'll make the things you're like, you feel like a fraud. You're like, I hope they like this. And then they don't. And then you're like, I don't even like this. Yeah. Why did I do that? And then it looks like you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah, you're not trying to be funny to yourself anymore. You're trying to be liked by other people. And it gets weird. And the posts that I like are the ones that don't get a lot of likes, but get more shares than likes. Because that's what I find funny.
Or comments. It creates dialogue.
Like it's so off-putting that they don't want to publicly like it, but they'll share it with their friends.
Exactly.
That's the thread I'm trying to hit. That's the needle. That's the needle I'm trying to thread, rather.
I mean, that's the ones I like. It's almost like that niche thing where you're like, I know more people like it than they want to admit.
Yeah, exactly.
It's creating dialogue. People are sharing it. Blah blah blah. But you know that's, and I'm trying to like, I know you got to wrap up, but like, and that's how. Doing those, and if you feel like this, doing the videos is actually helping me like create for stand up. Or now I'm like, I'm writing so real here. I was like, now my stand up, I'm scrapping jokes that are like fake or embellished in a too much of a way, and it's nice because they're ping ponging off each other. So it's just like kind of a good lesson where they both like help each other out. So
I'm glad it worked out, man, because I know like both of us were kind of like struggling in the beginning of quarantine. Like, what the fuck are we gonna do,
dude? Honestly,
and right around the same time we took off in two different.
I was happy,
directions.
dude. I like it. It's like fun. I was like, dude, you're popping off, and it's good because I was like, you're a smart dude. You get it, like. You know to put stuff out there, and I'm like, I'm glad that it just works. It's not like, oh, I'm getting lucky. It's like if you put your work in and try hard. Most comics are like, I'm not posting shit. I'm not doing that. You're like, then fucking don't. Yeah, then go do open mics the rest of your life because I don't want to do that, and I'm not doing some douchey thing, and nor are you, where it's like this like shallow thing just to get followers. But anyways,
so now we're wrapping up. Is there anything you want to plug, bud?
Honestly,
you got your podcast, you got
I have my podcast,
Instagram, whatever you want.
Matty Chymbor podcast. It's just me by myself, kind of thought process, just talking, nothing crazy. It's fun though. I enjoy it. People like it. And then my Instagram. If you guys want to follow me, check out the videos at Matty Chymbor. I'm sure you guys will post my name correctly because it's hard to spell. Plugging things, no shows really right now, but I kind of just digging into posting a lot of content. So. I will be active on your news feed.
Absolutely, check him out. It's at Matty Chymbor.
And I'm going to start.
I'll tag you.
I'm going to start jiu-jitsu, and me and Chase are going to schedule a fight in a year.
Yeah, it sounds like a fuck session to me, but you can call it a fight.
We're gonna be in a lube and a mini pool.
Hey, I'm just saying, man. If I come to LA, man, I hit you up, man. Let's
bone,
definitely do that.
Dude. Yes, come out here. We'll wrestle. We'll make fun of each other, and then go have drinks and laugh.
just like East Coasters. Hey, before we go though, I do want to get your pick though. Are you a sports guy? Do you pick? What's your take on the Super Bowl? Because I know like
is Brady or the Chiefs gonna win?
It's almost like a fucking Tom Brady's a cocksucker. Chiefs just won. I was rooting for the Bills hard.
Oh, you're a Bills fan?
No, I'm not a Bills fan, but I was like, dude, they fucking deserve it. Like, give them something. They got the retarded ass fans. Sorry for using that word. But in a way, I do because I actually don't like the Patriots. I do want Tom Brady to win just so he can be like, fuck you, because everyone's like, oh, it was the Patriots.
Washed up, yeah.
So at least that'll give him like, bitch, that was me, motherfucker. Suck my dick. So I'll go Tampa Bay because I do like Tampa Bay. So
yeah. All right. Well, thanks for doing this, man. Appreciate
it,
Matty.
Are the best. Thank you so much.
Obviously, all the listeners, you can follow Chase at Chase Abel on Instagram. You can follow me at Randy Valera. You can follow the podcast at Ready Set Blow Podcast. I will be in the New Brunswick, New Jersey Stress Factory this weekend, Thursday through Saturday. I guess it's the 27th through 29th. And then I'll be in Tampa the 4th and 5th.
Oh, hell yeah, Tampa.
Doing side splitters with
Is that Super Bowl weekend?
Yeah, Super
and
Bowl
it's
weekend.
In Super Bowl.
Yeah, good old Jeff Dye. So that should be a fun weekend. So come check me out there. But that's it for this episode, guys. Thank you, Matty. Thank you, Chase. We're out, guys. Peace.
Thank you.